You look pretty fresh though. Like you washed your face.
Like I didn't?
Did.
Oh, I was like, what?
That's kind of contradictive. I come over a little bit. Ah. Did you grind it out today? Did you? And today's gonna be a doozy of a topic. Hey, what's up? I'm Rashad.
And I'm Kesha.
Hanging with the Joneses, episode number 63. Yeah, 63. Of course, if you haven't liked, share, subscribe.
Do so.
Yes.
Right now.
Expeditiously.
Right now.
Yeah. But yeah, took a week off. I don't know why. I forgot what happened last week, but I did a quick bonus episode talking about a topic. I forgot what it was. But yeah, this week, I want to ask you a question. This is going to be a cold question. I haven't prepared you at all.
Ask me a question?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
You remember, I don't talk to the audience. I talk to you.
Confused.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I definitely talk to you. As an adult right now, in your current state of being, what do you think is your biggest area of opportunity for yourself?
Explain. Biggest area. Explain.
So I know you feel like you do some things really well, you know. Mm-hmm. And is there something that to you, maybe not even to me, but to yourself, is glaringly there's a deficit there that you really want to increase whatever X, Y, and Z is?
Good question. Let me think about this. I think the deficit is I don't really promote myself.
Okay.
I really don't promote myself. Sometimes I'll throw my link or stuff like something out there once a blue moon. And I'll just put it out there, no subtitle, no title, no nothing, not saying anything. Just put it out there. I did it. So I think that's the problem. Like, I don't promote myself, my business, or what I do. And honestly, it was for this podcast and Rashad, probably people wouldn't know what I did. I really don't talk about it.
Yeah, let's delve into that. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Good question. I'll have to think about that. Sometimes it's maybe want to get away from it. Like, I've been talking about this 6 days out of the week or 5 days or whatever. My off time, let's talk about something different. Let's not talk about mental health. And sometimes it's just like, why bring it up? Because it could change the perspective of you. Bringing up what you do. And sometimes like, why? Or it sometimes just don't come up.
And what do you mean by it can change your people's perspective? Like give me a scenario.
Okay, so you tell someone you're a therapist. It's like if you tell someone you're a doctor that everyone has a medical issue they want to be seen for. So sometimes you tell people you have mental health. It's like, well, my sister, brother, nephew, and it's like, no, but this is my off time. Like, I don't want to talk about mental health today, you know. And sometimes, no, I give in. Sometimes I can see mental health. No, that's what we talked about before. What I did before I had my license, I went to school to do it. Like, this is literally who God had my gift in.
True story.
So sometimes, like, we can walk down her up, like, ooh, Rashad, he has such and such, or this person, that's abandonment. He just needs such and such, or she just needs, and he's like, you're not at work. I'm like, I can't turn it off. But in the same token, sometimes it could be taxing. I think people don't always think about it. Sometimes, my husband, how emotional, how drained you can do. Because, when you think about being drained, sometimes you think about a physical job. Like, you're sitting down all day in front of the computer on the phone. This is not anything that should drain you. But I think people don't really think about how draining mental health can be. I do suicide prevention. Imagine for 7 to 8 hours you talking to people about how they're going to kill themselves. And this is 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
After a while, you like, please, no. Tell me you had a good day today, please. I need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be really, really draining.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's And even if, like, ironically, if I were to ask myself the same question, I really have the same issue too. Is I've never been one that has been like inclined to do any sort of sales. Like sales for me is like trash because usually I'm the consumer that I pretty much know what I want before I buy and purchase a thing. Like I'm not the one that goes in the store blind because I think those people are suckers and they get had and taken every day. So I don't want to be taken. So I know pricing, I know range, I know what it's made of, I know materials. Like I have a pretty good understanding of what the product is I'm trying to consume and buy. So I don't. And you're not gonna sit here and try to really be out here, like yo, like this is nah, man. No, thank you. No, thank you.
But you really need
this. This is what I want. You know what I'm saying?
But you didn't know you needed.
Yeah, and I got a lot of that like from my grandfather and my father. Like them dudes like really knew what they want when they went somewhere. There wasn't no haggling though. Like nah, this price I'm gonna pay, and that's it. So for me, like even doing photography, like I feel like, hey, you see my work. Do you like it or not? This is what I'm offering, and this is the invoice. And sometimes it's like, no, thank you. Sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, cool, we can go with it. And I don't even promote myself sometimes. So like for me, I have what's called like I have a bad case of recency bias. The things that I shot recently are the only things that I like. So the more recent stuff I shoot, like if I shoot something, that's nice. And then let's say if I take a long time editing something or look at it too long, I no longer like it. And I'm like, man, this is trash. I don't even do this no more. And people are like, yo, these are really good. I'm like, why are you even saying that? Like these aren't really good at all. Like these are pretty average to me. But that's just my own issue. And that's a lot of times like I won't even promote myself a lot. Like I find myself promoting more of my own YouTube than I do my photography.
Oh, absolutely.
Because my for me like me doing like the YouTube thing is like it's actually fun. Sometimes doing photography, especially after dealing with people who A are cheap, B don't know what they want, or C understand what they want after the facts. Like you get burnt a lot like that.
Not cheap, but since you're a black man, or I know you, I want the black man discount. I want the friend discount, or yeah, you get.
Or I want a discount in general, or you get to somebody who say like, hey, like I'm only doing like I just want a couple shots. Like, fam, what do you mean you just want a couple shots? Like that doesn't even make sense. So you gotta kind of deal and maneuver through those things and kind of weed people out. And it's difficult.
But the funny thing part of it is kind of what you get on me about is reflection, because it's really what also an area you struggle in.
Oh yeah.
So with me, okay, I have a hard time knowing how would you put it, Rashad?
I don't know what you're talking about.
About like when I did something good.
Oh yeah.
Or when I had a good group or session or topic or statement or whatever. To me, it's just very, by the way, I don't even catch it until someone like, hey, say that again. Did you know what you said? And I'm like, I just said whatever it is, and not realizing it's. So Rashad is having the same issue because I sometimes I don't want to see my value, but I always look at it as I could have did better.
Right.
Or I should have, in my head, I call it my Issa voice. I'm like, I should have said this, I could have did this, or I didn't even catch that because that's probably what it really meant, And he gets on me about that, about not seeing the goodness. But at the same time, he kind of struggled the same thing, because if you take a picture now, 2 minutes later, you don't like it. It's like, dude, why not? And a lot of pictures are really, really good. And I'll tell you, if I don't like him, I'll be like, this is not one of a relationship where I'm like, I like it because he did it. I'm like, nah, that's trash.
No, Kesha doesn't really care about my feelings a whole lot. So she'll definitely say what she feels at all times, even when it's not most appropriate or when I'm already down.
You asked me.
Will definitely kick me in my groin and say, yeah.
It's a lie, shut up.
This is dirt, so are you. No, it's not that bad.
No, but I tell him the truth. I told him, she was like, nah, that's probably not good. But when I tell him, oh, that's good, like that's really hot. Nah, not really. I'm like, Now, let me tell him it's not good. He'll be rebutted with, what? Because I did such thing. You see this? People can't do this. Da, 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 da. Then when I tell him it's good, he'll rebut it again with, nah, it's not. It's because this happened. And you see that center bird? That should have been to... What? What? And also because me, I like pictures that are real kind of raw. There's kind of pictures that I think the most beautiful pictures are when you kind of caught off guard as opposed to a lot of posed pictures. You know, so pictures with someone are really enjoying and engaging themselves and someone laughs or really, I like those kind of pictures. And I like black and white. So I push Rashad to do that. Same thing with mine. He really pushed me because a lot of times, especially with doing group, I'm so in my head of like, okay, it has to be A, B, C, and then we got to do this and it was that. And Rashad reminds me a lot of time. Remember, God gave you a talent. This is one of your strengths. You can go in there, discern the people, and God will give you a lesson just like that. But, you know, the scary part is that when you go in there, you're like, I don't know what I'm going to say today. God, I need you to come through right now. Or even if I have a lesson, but I usually have a lesson, but I'm just not feeling it. But Rashad gets on me about trusting myself and definitely like trusting God in the process.
Yeah, it's hard. I even feel like I know, like, and many people deal with this in general. Like, we be our own worst critic, and
why?
I don't even know. Like, I was really like, sometimes I'll just be sitting down at my desk, like, yo, like, why am I even like this? Like, this don't even make sense.
But where did it come from? And then you go, what makes it make you feel like that one can't celebrate themselves? That you have to criticize.
And like that's and that's just a whole ongoing struggle for me. Cause like very, let's be honest, like I hate celebrations.
Yeah, he does.
Like I'm not a fan of like getting together and having a quote unquote good time. I'm like, family, this is in my way.
And my family now, we'll get together for a get together.
Yeah,
I'm not joking.
It just be.
He's like, why you getting together? Because it's a Saturday.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry. Even go back a little slow. When Rashad first came to my family is from North Carolina. I call it the country, but they migrated to New York. And Rashad family is the opposite.
Actually, it's kind of the same.
Okay, it's the same.
But in reverse.
But, yeah, that's what
Yeah. They was in down south, moved up north, then moved back down south.
Okay, same. Okay.
One more step.
Okay. So when he first came to New York, like my family cooked big meals. Like, so Thanksgiving, Christmas wasn't like, or Easter wasn't like a really big thing, like, oh, the special food. Because that was my normal meal. So when he came in, he was whispering like, Kesha, what are they cooking this for? Who coming over? I was like, us. This is a dinner. So our family was the one that we got together and had a big dinner. So yeah, it was different for us, and we changed a little bit, but it's different for us getting together because I'm used to always getting together. Like, why? We ain't doing nothing. Invite everybody over. Let's do something. Nah, I want to chill today. I don't feel like seeing nobody.
Yeah. So that even the whole like celebrating yourself was always very in the moment. Like, all right, you did something great. Now it's time to move on. And I have a hard time like staying in a celebratory mood because I can't I can really be like in my frame of mind, like, yeah, we gonna do this, have fun. I get to be like, yeah, I want to go home, and I'm tired, I'm done. Like 2 hours in, like, yeah, this is it for me.
And it's like 3 hours over, and I'm like, I'm do it again. I won't stop.
Like, yeah, stop. I was like, please stop. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and see, and with my family, I was celebrated, especially I was the only child for a long time. Yeah. So anything I did, even big or small, was like, oh my gosh, she did that today. You know? So I was celebrated because I was the only child. So everyone was fascinated by me. You know, only grandchild, only niece, so
Yeah.
Everyone was fascinated.
No, I know what fascinating with us. It was about 4 of us. we were just 2 years apart, you know what I'm saying, into my youngest brother. So yeah, it was really difficult, even especially like transitioning into your family structure. But the fact that like even like I asked my friend, I was like, yo, should I do something for my 40th birthday? He was like, yeah, stupid. Like, why you even ask that?
Yeah.
Like,
You know how long I've been asking Rashad birthdays? I usually end up doing like a surprise party because Rashad has a hard time even birthdays. Wake up, go. I'm like, you taking off today? Nah, it's just my birthday.
Another day.
Right. So I usually end up surprising him, but it's hard. It is hard because Rashad, which one's nothing? We want to go nowhere. It's like, bro, man, nut, just chilling.
Yeah, man, you love them on references too.
I sure do.
And you just said come through with the come through. I was like, wow.
I did say that?
I don't even know if that's an old reference or not. It just sounds old. But yeah, anyway, I really don't like. I just never really. It wasn't a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Even that's the thing, opportunity to learn how to celebrate you. Because even when we realize in the Bible, they celebrate it. It's considered a good news, even though we want to take out, sometimes it's damnation and brimstone and, beat you.
There was a lot of.
It was they party.
There's a lot of feasts and stuff going on. And
the wilderness, that was supposed to be a celebration. It wasn't supposed to be 40 years, but
yeah, true.
It was supposed to be a celebration. So maybe that's even an area of opportunity. Because also, I feel like that's a great balance in us because I'm ready to celebrate, and I do celebrate my kids for almost everything. Looking back when I was a child, I was like, my parents lied to me or some stuff. They celebrate me for and thought I was great at. And look back, I wasn't. Why they did that?
Yeah, and Dad said the same thing a few weeks ago. It was like, yo, like why was my hyping us up so much? Like
I do.
Like we was not that.
I do.
I was like, hey.
But they didn't know, and same thing me. They didn't know they was not that. They felt like they was everything. Because when this came from you, what's your analogy? It's easier to pop up a door.
Yeah, no. It's easier to let air out than to pump it up.
Than to pump it up. So everything was like, good job. Like, that was suck. Good job. You did that.
Yeah. And I think, to be honest, that's one of those things like early on where I was just like, I was extreme in my reasoning and you really latched on to it. There was like really no balance in it at all. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of those things where we eventually improved on, like later on. But like early on, man, like shoot, like I'm just happy Desiree turned out the way she is because it could have been way worse.
Yeah, support because it came to me in the amount of opportunity to my own support.
Yeah,
support. Like I'm doing this. I'm a supporter.
Yeah.
And Rashad, sometimes we reject it. Like, why are you doing this? It's support. That's what you're supposed to do. And with our girls, sometimes they're like, please don't do it. please don't come. It's too much. It's like I'm the mom first day of school. I'm taking off. I'm going to everybody's school, and then I'm the teachers, and I'm emailing teacher. We should teach it. I'm kind of that kind of mom, and they're like, Mom, please don't do it this year. And Rashad's like, hey, something happened. They'll call me. Like the total opposite.
Yeah, like
I'm like, hover mom, and you
I got
like,
a whole other 100 kids to teach. Like I can't. I need these 3 to be decent. All right.
Yeah, it's so I would definitely the era opportunity celebrating more celebration. So maybe next time he come back, he'll have an idea of what he want to do for his 40th.
Yeah, I got ideas, but nothing solid. Just kind of workshop stuff in my mind.
Not a workshop. Not a workshop. Oh, God.
But yeah, man.
But the thing is, it's like you don't celebrate you, but you have no problem to go to other people's celebration.
I don't, yo.
And kind of
I don't like
encouraging them and lift them up and bigging them up, but
yeah,
you have a hard time receiving.
I do, and it's a thing. I have no problem with supporting people because as I found out through therapy, which is a very good thing, I feel like everybody should go. That's one of my core values. One of my core values is support. And what I was explaining was going on at work and life and stuff. And she was like, oh, okay. So what I hear is you saying is that when you feel like you don't have support, that's when you X, Y, and Z. I was like, yeah.
But it's iconic.
You're right.
Is that when you get support, you'll push it away.
For real. I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? But isn't that the classic? Isn't that
not
the,
what you're supposed
but isn't
to
that?
do,
But
no.
I'm just being sarcastic. Yeah. But isn't that the classic thing?
You can't be hungry
the thing.
For
yeah, the thing that you want is the thing that you end up rejecting. Like that's it's kind of like it's. I mean, unfortunately, it's to a certain respect, it's just human nature. Because like
irony.
Yeah, like we know that we need to eat well and work out and be healthy, but a lot of times we be like, yo, like I don't want to do none of that today. And that one day turns into like a whole lifestyle of doing that.
And I read something, we talked about in a group, like how a thought can turn into like your destiny. You know, like thought can turn to words, words can turn into action, action can turn into, I forget another part, then eventually it could turn into your destiny. And that is so true because even looking at that, it started out with a thought.
Yeah.
That maybe somewhere celebration, I shouldn't be celebrated. And that was the biggest thing we got into, like, why people celebrate me? This is what we're supposed to do. No, I guess like, no, even the Bible, they celebrate themselves.
Like that was like, nah, like, yo, this is like, even when I was first I had Dez, and people was like, oh man, you doing a good job as a father. I'm like, man, like be quiet, yo. Like I'm supposed to do this. This is my just due for my child.
Now that used to bother me. Not that people, not that what he used to say just do. I did feel like that was like a good thing when you used to say that. The reason I talk about this, for the reason that would bother me because
you were jealous.
No, it was like because he was a father and a man. If he did anything, if he tied the girl's shoe, oh my gosh, he's a great father. And me, I could be slaving or I could do anything. It was kind of like, that's what you're supposed to do. But he could just just showing up made him an awesome person.
Yeah, but I did more than just show up though.
No, I'm saying you did, but even though you were there, what I had to do in the background. But
yeah.
You understand?
I get what you're saying. Like it's yeah, but
I did think he was a good. I always think you're a good father, but I didn't like people's perception because we discussed it before. It came to me with a lecture. You know, you should do this and that. What I be doing? He get praise for coming, and I got to do everything else.
Yeah.
You know, need to lay out his clothes.
The sad part was, and ironically, it was a lot of the opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? That actually went on behind the scenes. Like, especially when it comes to like, quote unquote, traditional marital roles and stuff. Mm-mm. Like, we wasn't really doing a whole lot of that, especially when it comes to like servitude and what I should do, what you should do. Like a lot of that stuff, like we never have really done.
Yeah. So, bless you. So the reason why he was shown, like he was there more, because I worked. And his schedules was daytime. He worked like school schedule. I work nights. So he was there, but just because you don't see me doesn't mean I'm not there.
Yeah.
You know, and it go back to my little soap thing. Because the children even have to tell their school. I have parents. Like I have a mother too. And she's in there.
Yeah.
Because it's easier because Rashad a lot of times work in their school, so it was obvious that he was there because he works in their school. But they really don't rarely see me because he works in the school. It don't make sense for me to come when you can just tap your coworker and be like, hey, don't do that again. Unless, it got something weird happen. But yeah, get off that soap dish. But that used to bother me.
Soapbox.
I know.
You said it wrong on purpose?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I wanted to.
It doesn't make sense.
I wanted to.
All right, y'all. On that note, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
But yeah, opportunity. So and I don't like to say, we don't do New Year goals, but we do have goals.
Yeah.
We say many perish because lack of what?
Knowledge.
And write the vision and make it plain. So we that's kind of like our mantra for our lives. So maybe one thing we can work on, one that is to celebrate.
Yeah, that and like self-promotion, because to me,
yeah, both of us,
like self-promotion sounds too much like being selfish And being selfish is like the number one thing. It was one of the number one tenets that like growing up in like black church that you cannot be.
And it's not true.
It's not true at all. Mm-hmm. It's like there is a certain way that you should be taking care of yourself and doing for yourself that actually benefits everybody else. Mm-hmm. But how it's worded and how it's taught and delivered, mm-hmm. It's a good word. It's not. It's never that. Especially like when in reality, like that's not what it is at all. I'll give you a good example and I'm done. So when we was kids, we had to fast, like for January, like corporate fast and prayer, almost the entire month of January. And I don't forget, like 1 year, like for us, like mom was like, "Yo, no TV, no snacks. Only time you watch TV is like the news." And we eating like we really out here fasting for real. Like I only fast that hard as an adult, and we couldn't watch no TV. So the entire month of January is like NFL playoffs. And I was a kid, like I was like really on sports for real. Mm-hmm. So we get to church on the following Sunday. My pastor basically used the comeback win. It was the freaking Houston Oilers and the Buffalo Bills. That as like the metaphor for his sermon. I was like,
pastor watching TV.
How he watching football and I'm at the house suffering. Yes. That on Tom Brokaw every night, yo. Like I'm like come on. Y'all see this? He's talking about like, and it was like one of the best games ever. You know what I'm saying? It was an historical game. How the Bills came back. You know what I'm saying? And we was at home doing nothing. So yeah, that's my childhood story about
maybe we should have our children
being selfish. They won't last a day.
No, we can modify it. Just give us something. But I think that's a good. Our goal is to celebrate.
Yeah, celebrate.
It's okay. Both of us.
Celebrate self-promotion.
Celebrate.
I'm gonna shake on it. All right, partner. Great. Thanks for being here the whole time. If you were, the real MVP. It's not a thing.
I know.
I appreciate you guys. And yeah, it's been a. All right, y'all. Have a great week.